Hey guys, I am here to give you some much wanted, much needed Toribash Next news. You know, got a lot of stuff for you in this video. I'm gonna break it down a little bit and give you some information that you can take and speculate and whatever you want to do with it. So let's get down to the news. I'll also be playing some short clips, I guess, that I received from Hampa. I'm supposed to be receiving more, but I was feeling a little sick, but you know, we'll get those in the future. Anyway, enjoy the video, the clips, the information, all the things that I put in this video. So, alright, I'm going to do the standing because I think better standing. So, first stuff we're going to talk about is gameplay and release information. So, throughout the interview, he stressed that gameplay is the most important thing for him right now, making sure it's fun, fast, stable, and exciting. You know, if all this like crap that's added to the game is like a lot, and the gameplay is like trash, then it's like, what's the point? You know, we want something that we can play for a while and for it to be fun. So a lot of people want to know when releases, but unfortunately he does not have a date yet because he's not focused on advertisement. He's not focused on like what to do with the future right now. He wants to focus in the present and now, and he wants to make sure he gets this down solid before he commits to something that he's not ready for. You know, he doesn't want to put a ring on it until he knows where the game is. You know, so sorry, I have a list here of things. Right now he's working on the joints. You know, a lot of people have been commenting that the joints have been too bouncy, you know, or not bouncy enough, or like a little iffy. The joints have been a big weak point, I guess, and the GIFs and the videos have been shown, and people want the joints to be a little like more like original Toribash and everything. So he's working on that to make sure that he doesn't go too realistic to where the joints are too like stiff, you know, but just bouncy enough where you still get that fun, engaging combat that made Toribash so good. But a lot of it will be open-ended in the modding sense, you know, so you'll be able to alter and change a lot of the different aspects of the body to fit your playstyle. How that will affect multiplayer, I am not sure. There is a message, get out of my face. In this Toribash Next, a lot of the old bugs are gone, so like ghosting and passing through objects, a lot of that won't be an issue anymore. But that also will affect how people play the game, as some people rely upon bugs and don't even know it to do certain things in the game. Certain physics imperfections people rely on and don't even know it. So with those being gone, this may affect how people play the game, and that is something we'll talk about later in this video. We did talk about the title, Toribash Next. I asked him if it was a working title or the final title. He seems to be unsure, but if he can't think of anything better, it's just going to be Toribash Next. We did joke around about it being called Toribash 2. Not sure if he'll go along with that, but I kind of like Toribash 2 more than Next. I don't know, like Next what? Like the word Next, it just feels a little like awkward. Someone also asked, can you harm your teammates in Toribash Next when you're playing like 2v2s? Can you like, oh, why'd you hit me, bro? And it's like, yeah, you can do that, but it's a setting that you can turn on or off. And I feel like that's most of the things. Most people have these questions like, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Bro, it's a setting, you know, that's a setting feature. I'm sure you can do either. Particles. He's working on particles right now. The Blood is using a particle system. Flames will continue to use the particle system, and he's just gonna keep using the particle system to do a variety of different cool things, you know. He's using an effects graph particle system. It's a node-based editor to make particles for Blood, and he wants to make sure they can put out a lot of particles, but not too much to where you're like crashing the thing, you know. That's not good at all. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be great, it's gonna look great. If you know a lot about particles, I'm sure you can do whatever you want with that information. I don't know that much about particles. Making replays, he just recently implemented the replay system, so it's very similar to Toribash and how replays are saved and how they're made. So that will be, what am I doing with my hands? Yo, these cops better shut the fuck. Dang police officers and their sirens. Alright, now here's the big news. Here's the big boy news, you know, modding. We got a lot of information about modding for you modders out there. So he implemented copy and pasting and modding. My phone died. but I'm back, So what was I saying? Copy and pasting objects. Yep, that's a thing. Much easier for people to copy and paste structures and models, and very exciting for people who want to build quicker, I guess. A new thing, like how in the mod making you have spheres, cubes, and cylinders to start off as basic objects. Now we have 2 additional objects to use. Rounded cubes for much more like cleaner edges and everything, and not as boxy. Really cool. And ready for this? Are you ready for this? Mesh objects is being added to the game, and that is really exciting because Unity has this asset store. It's an asset store where people use modeling and like softwares, and they make 3D environments and 3D objects that someone can interact with. They add it to the asset store, so you'll find things like vast cities and intricate weapons and stuff that people make on 3D modeling software, and these are called mesh objects. And they count as one object. So someone can make an entire mesh object that's a city, but it counts as one object. So I talked to Hampa, and he said that the object count is not going up. Sadly enough, people wanted more objects, and that sucks because you can't. The amount of objects and servers don't get along very well when you add more objects to a server. So this is the way around that, is to use mesh objects, because they count as one object. So you can have larger mods, but have them be so much less as far as the amount of objects. So that's cool. And you can interact with mesh objects. So I'm sure 3D items will be a lot more detailed, and you can interact with your 3D items now instead of passing through them. And that's awesome. And I want to know if you can download assets from the asset store into Toribash. He said he might leave a way for us to do that. That would be awesome, because there's like so many like fancy, intricate, high poly. That means a lot of objects made in the thing more detailed. And that's cool for mod makers, because then you'll be able to like write into your mod, and it's gonna be awesome. But to do that, you will have to have some experience in 3D modeling. So this may be a new department for modding in Toribash Next, where people will start to get into 3D modeling instead of just modeling within Toribash, because that will remain the same as far as the item count. But if you want to go around that, you will have to maybe learn a little bit of 3D modeling, which just will take a few like YouTube tutorials, and then you might be able to make those vast mods that you so desire to make. You can put textures on environments. That was a question someone asked me. Yeah, I'm not sure if that means like bumpy textures or just like an image on an item or an environment, but I guess we'll find out. But regardless, he said that you can put textures on environments. Take that as you will. Another big debatable thing on the forums is how much will we have to relearn in this game? Does it cater to old players or new players? Will people lose their progress? And what I have learned about this is right now in the game he has it so you will start over at 0 QI, everyone's a white belt, which some people are like, yay, clean slate, but other people are like, I did so much like hard work for like my belt and everything. I would like that back. And he said if the community is like, if they want that, collectively, it wouldn't be that difficult, and he would do it. But he just thought it would be more fun to start with a clean slate, which I can understand and I would have no problem with. But some people will. And because if a couple people start getting their belts back, then everyone's gonna start to want to get their belts back. So that's kind of like up to you guys. I have to breathe when I'm talking. In Toribash, he said that it shouldn't be too difficult for someone who has played this game in the OG Toribash to pick it up in the new Toribash. So it might take a month or so to relearn how to grip and this little grip thing that he has in the game, and when dismembers happen, because that's going to be different with the new physics engine, is dismembers aren't going to react the same way that they did in the old game. So you might have to relearn how dismembers break and when, and how much force and speed and everything. Openers might need to be relearned because there's like slight tweaks to it that might like mess up a big thing in your opener. So those kinds of things people can like relearn in a month if you're experienced. If you're new to the game, won't make a difference, really. It's all new. You're not really relearning anything. Balance and movement should still feel the same. It's just the little things, really, that you will have to kind of work around or fix or tweak. You will receive most of your 3D items back upon request, they can be transferred over. I was telling people on the forums that I don't think that's going to be the case because of like old objects and the new objects we're working with, but he says he will be willing to transfer objects over upon request. And yeah, because he said if you work trying to customize your Tori, he doesn't want you to lose all that. But yep. Last thing, realism. Some people are asking about realism replay making, like mass and all that stuff. And I'm shooting the rest of this on my computer because my phone is running out of storage. A lot of people talking about how will the new game support the realism community, and how like the models and everything, etc., etc. Well, a lot of people were talking about how like MATARIKA, I don't care about new mods and all that stuff. I just care about the gameplay and how inclusive and just support my playstyle. Now, something that has been for realism is the joints and how they move. And some people have complained that the joints don't rotate because in fighting, you don't like fight like this, you know, all the time. You want it to be able to rotate. You know, rotation is a part of actual martial arts. But you can't do that in Toribash without making a separate mod. So in Toribash Next, there are a plethora of joint objects that include some of which are rotating and everything. But he said that they're very complicated and it could be very overwhelming for people coming in. So he's gonna have a base number of joint stuff, but he will once again leave the back door open for people to experiment and mod the Tories and make what they want and feel comfortable. So there will be a huge advance in Toribash realism because you will be able to modify these joints to the way that you see fit much further than Toribash has let you before. I think that's the end of this video, but something I just want to wrap it up is about Toribash Next. I think the big thing that will make this game really fun is the open-ended part of this game. There's a lot that will be given to you like base game, and for people to come in and just play the game. But there's a lot of creators on Toribash, a lot of innovators on Toribash, and the thing that's going to make this game really good is the fact that he's leaving the back door wide open for this game. So there will be an endless amount of paths and sort of directions to go with and customization will be the thing that makes this game good. Will it make this game like, will it revive the game? Will it make this game as popular as Toribash back then? Will hundreds and hundreds of people be coming in droves? Like, probably not, unfortunately. You know, I've been preaching on the Toribash forums that this game will bring back Toribash. It will make it great. It will be like wild. You have to take that with a grain of salt because this game is a niche game. Niche. It's a game that it's just this little group of people, and it's not going to take in large groups of new people overnight, over a month, maybe even not over a year. It will take time. It will take effort from the community to kind of work on advertisement and marketing. Will people focus on that? I don't know. But if expanding the game is what you want to do, then that's a new area that we need to put more attention towards. If not, then just be happy to be part of the community and be happy to be given the things that you are given. You know, I look forward to see what Toribash Next does, how well it does, if it's going to turn towards a marketing or advertisement position anytime soon or anytime in the future, or because I know like Toribash had terrible marketing, and I want to know if Toribash Next will start to do more of that. If not, then it's just going to be our little secret, guys. It's going to be our little secret. But yeah, that's all the news. You know, mod makers, you have something to look forward to. Brush up on your 3D modeling skills for those mesh objects. Realism players, you got brand new possibilities coming to you. I know everyone wants to know, when can we play it? When is it coming out? My guess, this is my guess, is the end of the year. Because he wanted this game to be out this year, unless he just gave a blatant, like, bluff for when it's coming out. But I don't think so. I think he's sure it's going to come out this year. But if that's the case, then probably look towards being able to play it like as like a public beta in the fall, if not like the late fall. Because right now he's working on the OS X version of the game. He was working on like the PC Windows version of the game, and he said it's like stable now, it's pretty good, and now it's just the OS X version he's working on. I'm sure after the OS X is done, then he'll have enough to give to the public, because people with Mac can't play it right now. But that's it, so stay patient, think about new ideas, and speculate, because those speculations, they breed new questions and new ideas that we can bring to him and make this game even better than it already will be. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys are having a good summer, and I am out.